Oh, not again. More sugar? Really? You gained a pound last week. You don't need to do that. How about I show you why your neurochemicals are all fired up and you're craving the stuff with some simple solutions of aminos that you can use right here. Let's go. In this video, I'm going to show you the 5 craving styles and how to cope with one on a biochemical thought level, and then also what supplements you can use to break past any of that so you're no longer craving and snacking. All right, you know me, right? 11 years I've been on FitLifeTV preaching the gospel and the message of getting your body in prime condition so when you feel good, your mind works good. So when it comes to cravings, when it comes to snacking, the first place I always start with clients is, what are you really satiated by? That's the question. What brings me satisfaction? What fills my own love cup up? What has me living in purpose? Because oftentimes, my friend, if you look at the Maslow's hierarchy of needs or the Dolt's neurological pyramid, when we're living in our passion, when we're living in our purpose, a lot of the food that normally we would crave just simply fades away. We're not stimulated by the dopamine rush of the whole bag of Oreos, because you know you can't eat just one Oreo. It's like a whole sleeve, and then you're like buzzing out for 2 hours, right? And the same goes for caffeine. Oftentimes we crave what it is that's the worst thing for our body because there's an imbalance in bacteria. Let's get into it. Craving style number 1. We got the depressed and anxious cravers, right? These are the people that just they kind of loll around, sad. We've all been there before. I've been depressed. I know what it's like. So I'm with you. And we get anxious, and then we crave certain foods. Usually it's sugar, right? Sugar, sugar, sugar. I need sugar. We're all cracking out. Really, it's a serotonin deficiency. Serotonin is that happy neurochemical that we get in our brain. 90% comes from the gut. It's the one that has us laughing. It's the one that has us playing. It's the one that has us living in rapture as that 5-year-old child. As we become adults, guess what happens? We get too serious. We got our taxes to pay. We got this, we got that. I'm just such a serious adult. And we start craving things that are loaded with sugar, right? In the afternoon, because we want that serotonin hit. And all of a sudden you're eating donuts. You're laying passed out in the back seat of your Miata with a whole pile of donuts wondering what just happened to you. It's because you're looking for more serotonin. Sarah wakes you up in the morning. She's the girl that's like, hey, get up, buddy. It's time to hit your goals, time to hit your dreams. I don't know if you like my Sarah voice, but anyway, more serotonin makes a happier you. We want you to be happy. We don't like being around angry, energetic, vampire people. So get happy, get serotonin, and then 5-HTP, what you'll see is you're not craving those starchy carbs or those sugary things. Let's roll into craving style number dos. We got the crashed cravers. These are the people that all of a sudden, everything's going well. You want to be around this individual. They're really fun. They're living their best life, YOLO. And then all of a sudden, what happened? This fatigue sets into their face. They look like they haven't had their feeding in a while, like they've lost all life. Maybe they're laying on the couch wondering when they're gonna get their next meal. This is what we would call the crashed craver. And if you've guessed it's related to blood sugar, you would be right. It's because their blood sugar levels are dropping too often, thus they wanna eat more sweet stuff. So the solution for that, glutamine. Glutamine helps restore that hypoglycemic response sometimes that we get when we feel like we're starving after we just had a meal or whatever it is. Glutamine, you could have an imbalance in. So check that one out. Number 3 would be Comfort Cravers. Comfort Cravers are the ones that need the sugary hit or the starchy carb or that food to give them those endorphins in their brain that has them feel good, which is why we call them Comfort Cravers. Comfort Cravers are the ones that are eating the Michigan food, you know, the potatoes and the mac and cheese, and they're craving these highly calorically dense foods often because they're searching for the endorphins. And one thing that I actually have here is it's called DPA, and it's an amino acid that helps give you those endorphins naturally without craving all the comfort food. Okay, and number 4 would be Stressed Cravers. I know with lockdown, everything that's going on, people are stressed out, no doubt. You look around, there's a lot of people that are stressed, and that's okay. I have taken a supplement called GABA, which is like a natural tranquilizer, my friend. It is going to, what it does for me is it puts me in that relaxed state, that peaceful state, so that I'm no longer eating things when I'm stressed out. I think a lot of people, the reason people are gaining the quarantine 15 and everything that's happening is because they're just eating when they're stressed. What was it, 32 million people laid off? That's a lot of stressed out people. Finances are the biggest things that humans stress about. And if you're stressed about your finances and your coping mechanism is food, then you may want to consider something likened to GABA. And number 5, we have the Fatigued Cravers. A lot of people are adrenal fatigued. They don't even know it. They're just constantly waking up in the morning, feeling like they're still fatigued. Even after they have their coffee, they still want to take a nap. And sometimes they do because they're working virtually now. So they're late to their Zoom call. They don't know what's going on. All of a sudden they're laying on the couch and an hour has passed by and they're just still fatigued. They're on this perpetual hamster wheel, that perpetual craving of sweet food, that latte, that fructose. All the sugar that we get, the glucose, all the sugar that we get is actually only giving you a little hit of energy. So they're riding on the energy waves of all the neurochemicals that they get from that sugar, and it's quickly depleting. It's like robbing Peter to pay Paul, like the old analogy. Your body has to create the energy, and it's confused because you're dumping so much sugar down the hatch that that's not real energy. That's not sustainable energy. Your mitochondria actually doesn't like that. So one thing that has helped me with that is number 1, L-theanine, right? So if I do have coffee in the morning, I'm taking L-theanine with it. That's the same thing we've talked about in the past in previous videos. When you drink your matcha latte, you have this nootropic. It's one of nature's most natural nootropics. I'm impressed by coffee manufacturers that are actually recommending this is L-theanine because it helps with cognitive function, more blood flow in the left and right hemisphere. I definitely notice a difference when I take L-theanine. And then also L-tyrosine is another amino that can help with these fatigued cravers, people that are constantly riding on that sugar high. So L-tyrosine, it's gonna give you that good natural energy. It's a natural amino. And then L-theanine as well is another amino that I like if I feel like I'm eating just because I'm fatigued. You know what I'm saying? So, and of course, you guys, all the other things that we talk about. We talk about sleeping like a snob, being a sleep snob, owning your sleep, owning your morning ritual, giving time back to you so that that gives you energy throughout the day. So we talk about playing. Playing puts you in that childhood nostalgic state. I believe when we're in a playing resonance or a playing frequency, it tells our bacteria that we don't need to eat. Remember when you were a kid, when you were out on the playground or you're building your fort or whatever it is, or maybe this was last month, you were doing something you were really passionate about. You were learning something new. You were getting the dopamine and the other neurochemicals associated with new. Therefore, it suppressed your actually appetite to eat something that was going to satisfy you temporarily. I believe a lot of the reasons why we eat are just simply because we're not plugged into our purpose. So really take some time figuring out what does trigger me when I'm craving the thing that I'm eating. And you know what it is. There's 2 or 3 things that you crave that are like, I have to have this. It's become like a daily ritual. Maybe it's 100 calories, but 100 calories in a month is 3,000 calories. 3,500 calories are in a pound of fat. So over 12 months straight, you're gaining almost 10 pounds of body fat, just 100 calories a day. So it's the compound things that you choose, the micro commitments and the habits that you choose every single day that can make or break, that are the biggest deal in your life. Because the better you feel, the more momentum you're gonna build up, the more motivation you're gonna have. So really try to understand what does satisfy me, what brings me joy, what is my passion, and then look at the triggers right before you go to eat that ice cream or that Oreo or those tater tots. I'm talking to you. Look at it and be like, what was I thinking? What was the thought that I had that triggered me, the trigger, to eat this thing? And then backtrack it. Figure out why you're having that thought. Do a little journal exercise for 5 minutes. List it out. Why am I having this perpetual thought that's leading me to do this? Oftentimes it could be self-sabotage. It could be one of the biggest fears. You're afraid of your own success, right? Marianne Williamson. So what are you afraid of your success about? Maybe you're in a relationship that's not serving you anymore and you know it. So instead you're just eating and sabotaging your body, hoping that one day they wake up and they're like, hey, I'm no longer attracted to you. Secretly, you don't want to be in a relationship with them. So there's all kinds of deep things that you could track with, once you sit the monkey down, the monkey mind, you can figure this out. So here we go. Check it out. These are the 5 craving types, how to banish snacking and craving almost instantly for good, my friend. Let me know how this works for you. If you do decide to do something and it works in your life, or it doesn't for whatever reason, come back to this comment section and support the community, because we are a community of being in this together. We're in this together. We've been saying that for the past 11 years. So if you believe you're in this together and you have something that you want to add to this, maybe you've been researching cravings your whole life, maybe you've written a book on cravings and you want to leave some information below for our community, let's do it. We're in this together. Drew Canole, watch the next video I have. I did another video on cravings in the past. You can get a little bit more information in regards to snacking and cravings right here. Keep watching.